It's Sunday night, and this is the Conjugal Visit on KGFRocks.com.
Yeah, the Conjugal Visit on Spreaker through KGFRocks.com, and I'm Free Ride, and I want to say hello to my buddies over there in Buffalo, New York. That is Chaz. Are you there?
Yo.
Yo, and I got my friend Guido.
Two things I got to say. One, you said that wrong. You said it's Spreaker through KGF. No, it's KGF.
KGF Rocks through Spreaker. You're right. You
and
were
two,
right. Two.
Get a friggin' tissue, will you please?
Why am my nose running? Can you hear it running?
Yeah.
Well, see, I quit smoking. Okay, and now all my juices are flowing, and I'm eating like I'm on vacation. I'm eating steaks. I'm eating out to dinner. I'm doing this. I'm spending all the money I wouldn't spend on cigarettes, but at the same time, I'm gaining weight, and I'm up to 218.
Well,
I've never weighed 218 in my entire fucking life.
You're still far below your other two hosts here.
Yeah, I know. Chaz, what are you at, about 225, 230?
Like 240.
240? How about you, Guido? Where are you at?
250-ish.
About 250-ish? Okay.
Yeah, maybe
right.
more.
250? Really?
Yeah, he's been eating like he's on vacation for 10 years.
For 10 years, right?
Not 10, but close to it.
Close to it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, football, man. Football is in full swing. What's going on? Oh, I did want to mention that Fernandez, right-handed pitcher for the Florida Marlins, was killed in a boating accident. Whole lot of promise in this guy. I think it's his third year in the majors, and he had a really good ERA. He was a hell of a pitcher, and he will definitely be missed by the Marlins. Want to send out kudos to the Florida Marlins, and sorry, for your loss. But football's going, and it's in full swing. So we need to bring MJ in whenever she is ready, and we'll go over the stats.
We'll go over the stats. Yeah.
We'll go over the stats. Yeah.
Are we going over the stats for the NFL or for the KGFL?
The KGFL.
Oh.
That's what I thought we were doing.
Yeah, we could do that. And I just want to say that I'm going to kick ass again today, I hope.
I don't know about that.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to kick ass, but I'm definitely hoping to pull out this win because right now I'm beating my opponent 96.2 to 87.7.
Yeah, you're looking pretty good there. I don't know.
What are you talking about? He's got one person to go. I've got two, and one of mine is a quarterback. And he's beat me by 5 points.
Yeah, but
I have the better set.
My backup quarterback today only got like 5 points or something.
So basically all I need is for my receiver to get 5 points to be tied with you, and then it's a battle between our two players. You know what I mean? I have the better shot right now.
Well, things happen. People
True.
Free ride's going to be 2-0, so things can happen.
It's true. But I have a good
true.
shot. I have the chance at winning right now. I have I'm favored to win still. If you look at the projections.
Yeah, projections, schmections. That it could all go a different way. Stub toe, turf toe, anything.
Like your boy Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, Sammy Watkins. But you know what? If I would have played him anyways, he would have got 7 points. So or 4 points or whatever. So I did better without him actually. But
right.
I'm more sad about Adrian Peterson being out for
right
possibly the year or at least till week 11. They said. Which that guy can't catch a break. He can't get like 2 seasons in a row where he plays a
Oh,
ball
he
game.
certainly caught a break.
He
Yeah.
certainly, he caught a break all right.
But I mean, has he played 2 full seasons, back-to-back seasons in his career?
Right.
I don't think he has.
Yeah, the first 5 years, and then he got hurt in like 2012 or whatever,
Right.
and then he came back and played and won the rushing title, and then he beat his kid with a stick and got suspended. Then he came back and won the rushing title, and now he tears his leg.
He beat his kid with a stick. I don't
He
think
beat
it was.
his kid with a stick.
I don't think it was that graphic. I don't think he like took a stick out and beat the shit out of the kid. But
Right.
That's what they.
but that's what they make it. Media blows things up. But I would rather have a player that gently or not abusively beats their kid than won't stand for the national anthem. That's all I'm going to say on it. But I guess there's different lines of what is acceptable behavior and not in the NFL now.
Well,
I mean, I don't know, whatever. I just think that it's Roger Goodell shouldn't be on the bandwagon with it.
I don't think it's in the rules to say you can't. So what is he? Hillary Clinton? He's just going to make up a rule and say you can't do it
Why not?
because that's against the rules. You can't do that.
Is that MJ?
Yeah.
Oh, you sound like a little church mouse back there. I think we lost Free Ride. He's blowing his nose or something. I don't know. He was just
No,
there.
I'm not blowing my nose. I'm trying to get onto Yahoo, and it's not letting me onto Yahoo.
He's blowing his friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't mess it up. Hey,
I'm not
MJ, good game last week.
Yeah, good game. It was a close one.
Yeah. Chaz, I kicked your ass, and that's all there is to it. And,
You certainly did.
You
And you know what? And I was very surprised. You know what? Congrats, Free.
Even with some of the players that you had out, though, Chaz, you still gave me a good run. But what did I beat you by, like 9 points or something?
Yeah, and let's be a total digression here. I didn't put my tight end in, and he was on the bench, and I lost by 9 points.
That's about all it took, right? Yeah, he ended up
fine.
with 15 points. So yeah,
It's
that's
fine.
okay. It's okay. You'll get me back next time.
Fine, I'm not upset. It was my fault.
Yeah, you'll play him again in 3 weeks.
Yeah, my fault.
Yeah, it'll be another rematch.
Yeah, we play each other every 3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks.
Right.
That's right. That's the way it works.
So, I'll be playing Free Ride next week.
I noticed that MJ made some trades.
I did.
Well, what made you do
She did like 7.
I changed my mind on a few players.
You changed your mind on like 60% of your team.
I did.
that? Right?
Well, I decided to go in a different direction at the end of the day.
You was talking to Hooligan, weren't you?
I
Yeah.
might have gotten some help.
You got some help from Hooligan, and he screwed you. You're getting your ass handed to you today.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you're losing pretty hard.
Well, today, yes, but that's not Hooligan's fault.
But it's not.
But
That's the football's
she
fault.
still got 1 player left, so she could potentially come back and beat you.
See?
Right.
Because, like my running back had like 4 points last week, and he had 23 this week, so you never know,
Right.
And who do you got left going? I don't even remember, but you still do got 1 person left, I believe.
I think I do.
Yeah. And how about, there was some upsets in some in football itself today.
Okay,
Oakland,
football sucked today.
I don't know. The Buffalo Bills won, so it was a good day.
Okay, yay for your
Yeah,
Bills.
my Chiefs
And the
won.
Niners fucking sucked. And the Raiders freaking won. But you know what? I called it. I'm telling you, the Raiders are going to do well this season.
Raiders are awesome team, man. I mean, I'm a fan, but man, Derek Carr is the real deal.
Right.
Well, there had to be one car in the family that could do it.
Right.
Right.
The number
Certainly
one,
wasn't David.
Well,
the
guy
number one overall pick couldn't do it.
the team I'm disappointed in is the Panthers defense today. Although it wasn't terrible, it wasn't awesome, like I wanted, and not to mention the fact that Cam Newton looked like shit today. He got his ass handed to him.
Well, the thing of it is it all depends on who they play. Last week, my Broncos defense got 22 points. This week, they got 9. So it all depends. The Bills last week probably got about -2, and I'm sure they got a ton this week because they had 4 interceptions and like 2 or 3 sacks. So it all depends on what team they're playing.
Right. That's true.
It does. And now I'm interested to see Buffalo gets to play New England next week with maybe Julian Edelman as their quarterback.
Yeah.
And there was this. Now, what happens with that if Julian Edelman is the quarterback and he's your wide receiver? How does that rate for fantasy?
He's still going to get points. He's still going to get points.
He'll still bring points.
Yeah, because unless they,
if he has an awesome day, didn't he play quarterback in college?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I think they'll do is first of all, it's New England, so they're not going to tell you anything. So if they trot him out there at quarterback, he's going to be listed as a wide receiver for fantasy, and any pass that he throws, he gets the points for like the touchdowns and the yards.
I think the rookie looked good though.
But he's hurt.
There's some injuries too this weekend that were pretty bad.
Oh, I didn't even look. Oh, no shit, huh?
Yeah,
that's special.
Bad.
Isn't that
They only have
special?
3 quarterbacks on the roster, and one of them suspended, and 2 of them are hurt. So they haven't told you the severity of the rookie's injury.
Right, right.
But they're saying there could possibly, or did they activate him as quarterback? No, they didn't yet. He's practicing as quarterback, Julian Edelman.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I'm sad at football today.
You just sound sad in general.
Yeah, you're not
And
happy.
my team so sucked.
Well, they're
and they lost last weekend. Like, it just stinks.
Who, the 49ers? Is that your team?
Yeah, that's my team, and they suck.
You take it that personal, huh?
This is going to be this is not going to be the 49ers year by any stretch.
No, it isn't. And
so you should have no great expectations on what they're going to do.
One can hope.
Terrible song.
Yeah, I mean, think about that.
Stand and clutch your breast. But the Rams won today.
Yeah, well, they kicked their ass. Yeah.
Wow, you guys must be having a party in St. Louis. Oh.
No,
too soon?
Yeah. Too soon.
Too soon?
I don't care. I've never been a Rams fan. I was a Rams fan when Roman Gabriel was quarterback. Okay, close your eyes and think about that for just a second.
Yeah, none of us were born when Roman.
None of you were born at that time.
Yeah.
When I was a Roman
Gabriel was a head coach when I wasn't able to know who people were.
Right?
And come on, what are you talking about? The Rams had some great players, Jack Youngblood.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. When back in the day, when I
Eric
lost
Dickerson.
When I went when I left the Rams as a fan and went to Kansas City as a fan, when the league went on strike back in 1984, I think it was, or 85. They went on strike. And the Rams, they did this video of these guys, and a majority of the team players that voted to go on strike were from the L.A. Rams, the San Diego Chargers, and the Oakland Raiders. And that was it for me. I just said,
but you jumped on the bandwagon when they were the greatest show on turf, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I didn't want them to come here. I did not want them to come here. They could have been the greatest shit show on the turf, and I wouldn't have cared. I didn't go to a single game. I take that back. I went to 2 games in the 20 years that they were here. 2 games, and they were both Kansas City Chiefs games. And by the way, Kansas City came into town and beat them both times. So, and I was up there yelling and screaming, wearing my yellow and gold.
But you're closer to St. Louis than Kansas City, correct?
I'm in St. Louis. Yeah,
you're in St. Louis,
but I'm not a St. Louis Rams fan. I wanted a brand new team.
Well, good, because there is no St. Louis Rams.
Right. I wanted a brand new team for the town. I didn't want a team that was just going to come in. They used and abused. See, a football team is like a bad woman. If you now listen, let me explain. A bad football team is like a bad woman. You meet this chick and you do her and you find out that she's married to some guy. Well, then she leaves him to be with you. Do you think for 1 minute that she's not going to drift from you too? I mean, think about that for just a minute. Can she be trusted? It's the same thing with a football team. They left L.A., came to St. Louis. They're just like the Oakland Raiders. Left Oakland, went to L.A., back to Oakland again. Then when they found out they couldn't move back to L.A. again, they wanted to move to Toronto. All right? So when you think about it, they're never faithful to any city. All it is the money. They don't give a fuck about Los Angeles. They don't give a fuck about St. Louis. What the fuck do I want them here for? And I called it from the very fucking beginning that they would not stay more than 20 years. And by golly, they left on the 20th fucking year.
I don't know if you know this, and I don't know if you've ever been explained this, but the NFL is a business.
No, and I understand that. I understand that. But you think about this from it is a business. And when you think about it, you know, the Chicago Bears, how long they've been in Chicago?
Mm-hmm. But, it's what the city can do for
Buffalo
them,
Bills,
too.
how long they've been in Buffalo? They haven't left. They haven't even thought about leaving.
Yeah, they almost
came close.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
also what the city can do for the team too.
This is true. There's a lot of factors into it.
Here,
but when you talk about being faithful to the city, I mean, you got to give a little bit, you got to get a little bit. But I knew that they weren't going to. I never liked Georgia.
No.
I knew she couldn't be trusted. Her husband couldn't be trusted, neither could she. And it came down to be true. Right. I knew they'd go back to L.A. eventually. So I would have much rather had a new franchise.
You might get one soon.
Yeah, you never know.
It
The St.
is
Louis
a big
Arch.
letdown, though, when you've been a fan of a team for a long time and then they just leave.
Yeah.
It's a big letdown, and I could see why a whole city would be sad or upset about it.
They're not sad. They're pissed off.
Yeah, I'd be pissed too.
And first of all, the mayor let him go. The governor of Missouri let him go. They both are Democrats, and they both let him go. They refused to extend their tax break, and they wouldn't even put on a ballot for a brand new stadium.
So there's the problem right there.
But if they would have let it go and at least get on the ballot, the people would have said no. Mm-hmm. Okay, then it would have been on the people, but they left it on themselves, and they said, no, we're not even going to let you vote on it.
Right. The only reason the Bills stayed in Buffalo was because our current owner's wife is a lifelong Bills fan. Otherwise, they'd be in Toronto or somewhere else.
Right, exactly.
Because it's a business. And, you got to go. If you own a shirt manufacturer and it's cheaper to run your manufacturing business in a different state, what are you going to do? You're going to move.
You're going to move.
And I think that's what people forget. But, I mean, yes, I would be devastated if the Bills left Buffalo. But when it comes right down to it, it's a business. And
what would happen to Buffalo if Kraft Cheese left? Just up and said, see ya.
I don't know where Kraft Cheese is.
Oh, no, that's right. Oh, I thought
Sorrento cheese.
Sorrento cheese.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wouldn't be that big of a deal because Sorrento cheese is part of Lactalis, which is a huge corporation. It's only a small portion of their production.
Oh, I see.
So
they do a lot of dairy shit.
Yeah. Now, if the Chevy and the Ford plant here in Buffalo closed, that would be a little devastating.
They did here in St. Louis, and we still survived. The Chrysler plant and the Ford plant closed, and now they only have a GM plant open here.
Well, we survived the biggest closing of a business here ever, the Bethlehem Steel plant.
Yeah.
Tens of, maybe 10,000+ people lost their job, and the economy just went to shit after that.
Okay, who here is going to watch the debate, and who here is going to just watch the highlights?
I'm going to watch it because I want to see them talk against each other. I really do.
This is going to be like the fucking Super Bowl, man. This is going to be exciting.
Are we talking about Hillary and Trump?
Yes. This is going to be fun. I get butterflies whenever I think about it.
It's going to be one, talk shit fest. One's going to talk shit about the other, and they're just going to talk shit.
Right, exactly.
And it's going to be retarded. I'm not interested.
Stop! It's going to be better than a wrestling match.
Awesome, man!
No,
I can't wait. I'm waiting for Hillary to walk across the stage and give him that evil eye and see her eyes turn red. Because she's trying to piss him off and he doesn't get pissed off.
That's because one of our past guests said, Chief Wanadubi, she's a reptilian.
She is a reptilian. Yeah. That's in reference to Chief Wanadubi. Chief, if you're listening tonight, Man, I'm excited. I know you're probably going to have a party and sit around and doob it and have fun and watch the debate. I know he'll be watching just for the excitement. I don't think he likes either candidate, but
It's
anyway,
gonna be like a
now
soap opera. So
there
get
are
the popcorn ready.
some special guests going to be at the debate. Now, does everybody here know who Jennifer Flowers is?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't
Yep,
she have an
absolutely.
affair with Bill Clinton at one point?
She's going to be in the front row sitting on Hillary's side. She's going to be in the
Courtesy. Well,
courtesy
you got to tell the
Donald-
story, right? What happened was
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton decided that she said she was going to invite Mark Cuban to sit in the front row because Donald Trump hates Mark Cuban and Mark Cuban hates Donald Trump. So he went one step further and invited Jennifer Flowers to sit in the front
Well,
seat.
if he really wanted to stick it to her, he would invite Monica Lewinsky.
She couldn't find her blue dress, so she couldn't find it. It was at the dry cleaners.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but that's no, because Flowers is the one that he admitted to. He denied Monica, and he only
You
did.
know what? The whole thing, I personally think that it was nobody's business, and it's his own personal affair.
No,
And if he wants to,
No.
step outside his marriage, is its own thing.
I agree with you to a point, but he lied. He said, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, and he did. He
But
lied,
it was nobody's business whether he did or he didn't.
but you still lied under oath as a U.S. president. You can't
I
do that.
guess, but I just think it was none of our business to begin with. The fact that he was put
Yes.
under oath to.
To begin with,
I mean,
Had
because
it been-
no one in the real world who's married and gets caught cheating gets put under oath.
No,
So
you know
why-
what? I'm going to tell you something right now. Hillary Clinton would be president today if she'd have divorced the son of a bitch.
yeah, maybe. But
Well, instead she attacked the women and act like
Yeah.
they were to
Yeah.
blame.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, she's
and
an
that's
idiot.
But they're going to act like she never said any of that.
That's
She
right.
crucified and persecuted those women and it's
They're lucky
maybe
to
it was
be
their
alive.
fault, maybe it wasn't.
They're
Yeah.
lucky to be alive. They
But
really
you know
are.
what?
With
What
Hillary
people
Clinton,
need-
people die when Hillary Clinton turns her head to you. You're dead. You're dead. I mean, she is the. I tell you what, it's all going to come out in the wash sooner or later. And I'll be honest with you, this whole thing about the debate and all this stuff, this is going to be fun. But as far as him getting blowjob in the White House, hey, that's my house. That's your house. That's our
All
house.
presidents have gotten
Yeah.
blowjobs in
Oh,
the White
yeah.
House.
Yeah, by their wives.
Yeah,
John
every
F. Kennedy
single
was
one.
fucking,
Marilyn Monroe.
in the
Yeah, but that was at a
He so
hotel
fucked
or an
Marilyn in the
apartment.
Oval Office, and you
They had
know
a
it.
villa somewhere they went off to. They didn't go to the White House and do it. He never
You
did
don't
it
know
in the
that.
Yes, they did it
I
in the
don't know.
living room. Yeah, there's-
I got no problem with like Clinton and what he did, and it's like it doesn't go either way. It's like that was personal issues, but his wife has a lot more blood on her hands, and it's a little ridiculous.
But you know what I think we should worry about? Instead of worrying about who's in the president's office for the next 4 to 8 years, what about all these senators and congressmen that are in for 20 and 30 years in the office? That's where we need to change. We need term limits on that.
We do definitely do. But I don't want to talk politics tonight.
It's not politics.
Just vote marijuana legalization, people. That's all I ask.
Yeah, just get enough
Just
people in there to
legalize
make
the
it legal,
weed.
and then next time you don't
Because-
have to vote for him.
Yes, because that is
Legalize
the
weed.
number one goal in America. That's our
It
most
should
important
be.
issue. Most
It
important.
really should be. We would get out of fucking debt if we would sell the pot.
Sell the pot.
I'm just saying, we would
Just
so
sell
get
the
out of
pot.
debt. And then it would take care of the say no to the drugs, the war on drugs bullshit, because you'd be taking the pot out of the hands of the dealers.
And then free college too.
Free college.
I don't know about free college.
I don't
well,
want
you
that
know
free
what?
college
Education
shit.
should be cheap, though.
It should be cheaper than it is.
But that's-
Cheaper.
Again,
I mean,
we're
the
forgetting.
teachers should be paid, and so I get all that.
But you're all forgetting again that the higher education system was set up as a business. It's
Yes.
U.S. economics. We are based our whole structure off England and how they did it when we started as a country, because we had no other idea of how to do it. And their higher education, their college is high school. That's what their college is considered
You know what? The bottom line is America's fucked. So
America's
brace yourselves, America. We're fucked. That's-
No.
That's so negative, man.
it's true, but just
God,
smoke it to me.
I am
Let
so
go, let God.
I am
and, you
so
know,
glad I'm not a millennial, man, because you ain't gonna make it to the millennia. You're not
And
gonna
an
make
She
it.
ain't no millennial. What are you talking about?
No, what I'm saying is the millennials are in deep shit. We got people like me and then they got to go through the next generation, which is you all's generation. I mean, they don't stand a fucking chance. I got to be honest with you. They don't stand a chance.
And in other news, Seattle beat San Francisco 37-18.
37-18. All
Yes,
right.
Eagles won. Yay, Eagles.
Is that your backup team? Oh, that's
Is that your back?
That's hooligans.
Well, no,
too.
you gotta have
Fight
your
for the
backup
one.
team has to be in the other conference, doesn't it?
why. It could be any. No, it should be like if the Bills are out of the AFC, I always choose another AFC team.
Do you?
Yeah,
Do you to
like
root for? Do
to
you?
root for the Super Bowl or whatever. Yeah,
Right,
I,
right.
I mean, I have picked a. I mean, I have done that now for the past 20 years. So
Well, my secondary team is the Redskins, so that's a different conference altogether. But they really, I don't know how well they're doing. I haven't paid attention to the Redskins, so I don't
the
know.
Redskins
Terrible.
terrible.
They're terrible.
They won today, but
Yeah. Oh,
Terrible.
yeah, they did win today, didn't they?
Yeah.
Eli Manning couldn't get his head out of his ass.
That sucks.
yeah, he sucks this year, man.
Oh, I tell you, no, he doesn't have a front line. He's going to get killed.
Did you see? I heard news, and was Tom Coughlin an offensive-minded quarterback or coach?
Yeah.
He's more defense.
You
Because
think?
the Bills were talking to him, and I don't know what for.
He's 97.
I know, but he has 2 Super Bowl rings.
Well, he's 97. Is he going to coach or what?
I don't know. I just heard. I read a report just a few minutes ago that the Bills
Are you talking to him to hire him?
didn't say what.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I thought he was, like I said, I thought he was defensive too. So why would they talk to him? They got
True.
the Chubb brothers,
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have some of the players that were on the field come to our restaurant and eat sometimes.
Oh,
All the
cool.
time.
Yeah,
One of them
players.
caught a 29-yard pass today, and it was a nice pass.
And he crackbacked the one guy. So shout out to Buffalo Bills tight end Nick
You
O'Leary.
ever give him free food, man, so you get some tickets, dude?
No, absolutely not. He makes a lot more money than I do.
And his grandfather's Jack Nicklaus.
I mean, a tit for a tat, man. That free
His
food,
grandpa
tickets.
is Jack Nicklaus, and he plays on the Bills. He doesn't need free.
No, I know he doesn't need free, but a swap out. You know what I'm saying? Something.
Oh, if a swap out, yeah, you give me tickets to a box, you can have free food.
You give me, yeah. You put my name on. Put your name on the box. Anyway. So, anyways, we've got a really cool guest tonight. He is a member of the band. Well, actually, it's 2 of them. Actually, I got to tell you, that's going to be. I've got it right here in front of me. Damn it! It's going to be Max Bilou, and he's from Canada. And he's really got that strong Canadian accent, and it's a really cool rocking band. And then also with him, he's going to have with him it's going to be Oliver, and he is going to rock us out tonight. We're going to talk about what's coming up for Warning Sign, what's been going on with Warning Sign, and just all kinds of fun stuff. Okay? So we'll be right back. But first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to play a song called Twisted. And this is Warning Sign, KGFRocks.com.
Deceitful suggestion, crooked train of thoughts. From desperation, unspeakable evil is brought. Instruments of vengeance, act is growing near. Using whatever is found to spread hatred and fear. multitudes of fates. Your vision of reality you'll bring to your grave. Destroy the opposition. Get rid of what impairs. Send a message to the masses that you do not care. Twisted is your mind, twisted is your soul. In the mouth of madness, beginning of the end. Twisted is your mind, twisted is your soul. In the mouth of madness, beginning of the end. Crumbling your conscience, black is all you see. The voices in your head make you lose reality. Irreparable damage, never to be undone. You'll never be forgiven. You're the twisted one. Abuse has taken its toll. There's a price to pay. At the bottom of the barrel, nothing more to say. Twisted is your mind, twisted is your soul. In the mouth of madness, beginning of the end. Twisted is your mind, twisted is your soul. In the mouth of madness, beginning of the end.
Yeah, kick ass. There's some rock and roll, man. Fuck yeah. Twisted and Warning Sign. And right now we got on Skype our good friend over there up in Canada, over there north of where Guido is. Okay? And this, we really are glad to have these guys on Skype tonight. We got Max Bilou of Warning Sign. Am I pronouncing that right, man?
Well, yeah, you're getting pretty good at it. It's it's Beaulieu.
Beaulieu.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's not
Beaulieu.
too bad.
I'll just call you Max. Is that all right, man?
Yeah, that's universal. It works.
That's universal. And along with him is Oliver. And how you doing, Oliver?
Fine. Glad. Thank you for having us.
See, I taught him how to do it. If he can't pronounce somebody's last name, you say it real fast, and then you keep going. and then you don't dwell on it. You're like, blah, 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 hey, how you doing? And then
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, that's Guido. That's my buddy.
But
Guido.
anyways, Canada. You're from Canada. What parts of Canada are you guys from?
Quebec City.
Quebec City. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's I've always traveled far as Toronto, and I've been in Toronto. I've been in Niagara Falls, but I've always had great times in Canada. You know, because here in the States it's 21 to drink, but I would just crawl over the border at 19. You know. So I spent many drunken nights in Canada. So thank you, Canada, for being so close to me.
And for the legal drinking age being 18, right?
Yeah, right. Absolutely. But now, as far as the question I wanted to ask is like Canadian music. I listen to a lot of it, and I like a lot of it. Are you guys in your music more influenced by Canadian rock, American rock, or a combination?
I guess it's more American, whether we like it or not. Because obviously there's the music business over there is much larger and much bigger than it is up here in Canada. So you're bound to have more artists coming on the airwaves from down there than there are from up here. And of course, being your next door neighbor, I guess we're directly influenced by that, whether we like it or not. So yeah, it's probably more American and even European for that matter.
Sure. And we're heavily influenced on European music too. But I mean, I always grew up with a lot of Canadian. I mean, of course, Rush and stuff like that, but even Triumph. And I even love Burton Cummins is one of my favorite singers ever. So being close to Canada, I probably know more about Canadian rock than the other guys do, And
Glass Tiger?
Oh, Glass Tiger, yeah. Don't forget me when I'm gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Honeymoon Suite, were they from there too?
I believe they were, yeah.
Yeah. So we get a lot of them that come to Buffalo, I mean, the Bare Naked Ladies came to Buffalo before they were famous, and I remember seeing, Bare Naked Ladies performing tonight, and yeah, we went, and it wasn't what we thought it was going to be, at the time. Because
then you went to a strippers club?
Yeah, right, exactly. But
you're like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, in Canada, by law, you see it all. That's another good thing about Canada, You don't get pasties there. Go ahead, Freeway. I cut you off. My bad.
No, that's okay. You're good, man. I'm glad I'm glad you're excited about it, and that's true. Guido, he just loves the shit out of Canadian music, no matter what it is. And when it's coming south over the Niagara Falls, man, he just falls into his lap and he digs it and he knows about it. So that's what's really cool. But I wanted to ask you, Max, what give us the name of the guys in the band and what they do.
All right. So of course there's me, and I sing and play guitar. Oliver here with me is a lead guitar player with us. We've got Jerome St. Charles, who's the bass player, and actually our drummer is Oliver's brother, whose name is Jean-Michel, and so he plays drums for us.
Whoa. Wow, it almost sounds like you're like a French rock band too. That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you guys gone to Europe?
We
Not
hope
for music.
Not for music. Yeah.
Not for music. Okay.
Not yet.
Okay, that would be cool because they're big on the stuff you guys do in Europe.
Absolutely.
They do festivals all the time.
We've received a lot of requests for CDs from people in Switzerland and Germany and Sweden and a whole lot of places like that. So yeah, the metal scene out there is pretty big.
Excellent.
I know you could play to a bar of 6 people in the States, then go to Sweden and play to 100,000 people. And it's ironic, but it's amazing. But it's true. It's how it is. They're still. Have good music taste in Sweden.
They do. Well, it's also, I think, a symptom of the U.S. being in its own little bubble where it comes to rock music. Mm-hmm. And it's a shame because obviously there's a lot of good stuff out there, not just in heavy metal, but in rock as a whole. But it seems like the American media and the American press just doesn't care about it, so it doesn't get as much recognition as it should.
And that's so true. And we've come across a lot of independent bands that we've had as guests on our show and played their music. And I said I would have never heard of this if I didn't do this show. And I love it. 95% of the stuff that we get through here that is not known is better than the stuff I hear on the radio.
That is true. That is true. A lot of stuff that we've had and a lot of the shows and a lot of the shows, musics that we have in our rotation now. Of course, you guys are going to be in our rotation now all the time. So, awesome. And that's why we do this show, is to break new music and to break new people into the scene and to help out. This is like handing you on a silver platter. Now all we need to do is get the people in line. So it's all fun and games. But you guys do. You got something in the works right now in the studio at all?
Well, the album's just been released, so we're working on setting up some shows for the winter and for next spring as well. We will be working on something too, but it's I don't know if I should say it right now, but I will anyways, because we have our producer David, who's been our producer for the first 2 records. He has his own studio now, and he wants to test the room, and he wants us to come in and try some stuff. So we'll probably, I don't know if you guys heard the
Children of the Sea cover.
Yeah, the cover we did for Children of the Sea by Black Sabbath. But we're going to record another one. We haven't decided what cover song we're going to do, but we're going to test the studio by recording a cover song in the coming weeks.
Okay.
Nice.
That's awesome. We were talking earlier about like my love of Canadian music and that, and I'll tell you why. The reason why I like Canadian music is not because of any of the bands, but because there's two producers that came out of Canada that everything they did I loved, and that was Bruce Fairbairn and Bob Rock. Now. They did a lot of Canadian bands too, but they did a lot of American bands. And I think that, in my mind, those are two of the best rock producers of all time. And I mean, they did some things. They did the big Bon Jovi albums, the Metallica, and I think just the way their sound, and I think it had to come from somewhere in Canada. The
Canadian sound.
Right, and I loved it. So, kudos to that. And anytime you guys come to Buffalo, look us up, and maybe I can get you a gig over here or something.
Sure, that would be awesome.
If I ever come this way.
And it's cool. Going back to what we were saying earlier, it's cool also that we have now with technology, we have the capacity of having radio stations such as yours, and there's a whole bunch of them now that broadcasts online. And that can give our music to their audience and go like, oh yeah, well listen to that. It's pretty cool. They come from Canada and they're independent or whatever. Because we don't have the luxury of having having the press or the regular media backing us. So to at least have independent media back independent music, it's a cool thing. I mean, we got to do that because if we don't stick together, then nobody will help us, and we're not going to get known. So it's cool that you do that.
Oh, and we love to do it. You know what I wonder is, like in the 70s and 80s and 90s, how many bands that were good we didn't hear because there was nothing like the internet then.
That's so true.
It was only the music business at this time.
Right. You had to have a certain kind of look or set style or sound or whatever. But nowadays, you don't need that. If you do it the right way and network yourself to a large audience, you could be the person that every record company said no to and still make it.
And I think that the launch for our latest album, Left to the Shark, kind of summarized this well, because just putting some well-thought ads either on Reverb Nation or Facebook got us, I think it's more than 2,000 people visiting our Facebook page, asking questions on where do we come from, why they haven't heard about us before. Mm-hmm. And we reached a lot of people from Latin America that never knew us or couldn't have the chance to ever get to know our music or even hear our music if it wasn't for the great invention that is the internet.
Yeah, and we can reach all around the world with the music that the people really want to hear. And you're right, you're targeting the right areas. You want to target South America or Latin America. You want to target Europe. I'll be honest. In my view, I mean, metal's doing okay, but comparatively so, American metal is milder than European metal.
No, American metal is radio and family friendly.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't make that difference, I think. I
but
think
not all of it.
That's not true. That's just because that's what you guys hear, because you're not metal fans. There's a lot of...
No, that's not my point. I'm talking about on the radio. I'm talking about literally on terrestrial radio. On the internet, no, that's exactly where you need to target that music, because that's where it is.
But metal's never been on American radio, ever.
No, they call it metal, but that's not what they're playing, dude. There's maybe one metal station in town, and they're playing Metallica as hard as it gets. That's as hard as it gets.
We have to be wary of the metal moniker these days, because people are going to hear distorted guitars, and they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, this is metal."
No. I know the difference, and you guys are metal, hardcore.
We're trying.
You got a question over there?
His name's Chaz.
Chaz? Blah, blah.
I'm just wondering, because we've had a few Canadian acts on here, and these guys are more metal, so I want to know what were some of their metal influences, or if there's any hidden Canadian metal bands that we don't know of.
Well, for me, I'm more a European metal kind of guy. I listen to a lot of soul work. I'm a big The Haunted fan also. I think the last piece that you played, Twisted, was one that I presented to Max when he was finishing the first EP, Wake the Dead. And this was a period that I was kind of rediscovering The Haunted and the Haunted discography. And I think that this songs kind of summarize my influences from The Haunted and the more European. And I think also we have a big heavy metal like Primal Fear, Gamma Ray, power metal, heavy metal, classic bands like these, if more in Europe. Don't know about you, Max.
It's more like this too on my end. Of course, and I don't know if my voice kind of gave it away, my singing voice that is, but I'm a hardcore Iron Maiden fan, and I've always wanted to emulate what Bruce Dickinson was doing. So,
well, that's not bad.
I love Iron Maiden.
And but yeah, a lot of European stuff. Halloween. I'm a big Metal Church fan as well, and I think this translates through the music that we're doing. Megadeth, the Big Four thrash really played a role. Annihilator, which is from Canada, which all you guys probably know.
How about Anvil?
Anvil too. We opened for them actually.
Oh, awesome!
Awesome.
Yeah, we did open for it. I think that was like 2 years ago or something. So yeah, we know the guys. And what else? I mean, in terms of Canadian bands, which ones that you guys wouldn't really know? I mean, I'm not sure about it. We have a bunch of our friends here that we could do a shameless plug for.
Sure.
I mean, there's Southern Cross, which is a prog power metal band that Oliver's been a part of before he quit a year ago or so. That have a couple of records, and they're 3 or 4 records together, and they're very good. We have Aeternum, which is a death metal band from Quebec City. They once were signed to Metal Blade Records, and they're doing awesome too. They're in the studio right now, actually. But yeah, it's in terms of influences, I think this summarizes it. I mean, it's a blend of the original thrash gods and a hint of European power metal music that gives us what Warning Sign is.
Cool. And that's all good music, and it's I think with the European metal, especially, I don't want to say classic, but the Iron Maiden, that is much better than any other country's metal.
The English, actually, if you look at Iron Maiden, being from England, you look at all the good bands coming from over there in the 70s and 80s. I don't know what they were putting in the water, but man, I want some of that.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Well,
Jeff.
that's why it's called the new wave of British heavy metal, because it was all those guys, even down to like Def Leppard even was considered a metal band back then. So
Back then. And they rocked pretty much. They rocked pretty hard too. I mean, before the
and they
before the
partied,
death
man.
of Steve Clark, they were great. I mean, you look at Hysteria and whatever else, Pyromania and whatnot. Those were great records.
And their tours were just intense. I mean, they would go out on tour and be gone for 12 months and just on tour for a year and take a couple of breaks in between. But they were on tour a full year. Not like today where they go on tour for 8 or 9 months and they're done. But, of course, those bands are getting older.
Yeah, but I just saw them this past summer, and they packed the place.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they did.
I mean, you couldn't fit a person in with a shoehorn. They still have the drawing power, Def Leppard, even though they haven't put a good record out. And I agree with you. Once Steve Clark was gone, they kind of lost. Yeah. But they got a better guitar player, but it was Vivian Campbell. But I don't.
Vivian Campbell is an awesome guitar player,
right? Yeah. But I don't think he was as good songwriter for Def Leppard like Steve Clark was.
Probably not. You're talking about their drawing power.
Yeah.
We had them here. We have the Quebec City Music Festival every year, and one of the biggest outside stage is on the Plains of Abraham. It can hold about 120,000 people, and they came and they played that stage. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, and it was packed too. There was 100,000 people out there, and they played Hysteria in its entirety on that time. It was
that's awesome.
It was amazing.
The whole thing about Def Leppard is amazing. You drummer loses his arm, and you bounce back from that. Other guy overdoses or whatever, and you bounce back. They haven't had an easy life as a band, but they still do it.
Yeah, and now you see Vivian Campbell has cancer.
Right, and Vivian Campbell has cancer. Right.
And
And it's amazing.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. You guys are having this cool conversation, but I want to make sure that MJ gets a question or two in tonight.
Oh, there
I
she
don't like
is.
it, Noel. I don't like interrupting because Guido's on a roll and he asked.
God's love him. Yeah, have you got something you want to ask MJ? I'm sorry.
Well, no, just I just say just tell the listeners what's coming up in the next year with you guys, and where can they expect to see you guys perform, and what's your favorite song off the new album that you guys just put out that you enjoyed doing together, and what you enjoy doing live.
Now, that's kind of asking someone who has 8 children which one is their favorite. But well, first part of the question. Well, in the coming year, we've just updated our press kits, and we're sending albums left and right, and doing publicity and advertisements for the record. We want to play, of course, in the province of Quebec as much as possible, around the Quebec City area, outside of our city, but also we would really like to go out and go to Ontario and maybe northeastern U.S. if possible. We want to make sure that we send all of our press kits on time for next summer for festival season, because we would like to be playing festivals just about everywhere we can as well, to reach as much people as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea right now, since the record's only been out for about a month, is to play live as much as possible. We are, of course, expecting to be contacted for a couple of big opening gigs here in the coming months as well. But yeah, it's really a matter of trying to spread the word about the album being out as much as possible by playing live as much as possible. And also, of course, starting to write for an eventual third record. I have a lot of ideas that are currently sitting here that I want to work on. So I'm just digesting this one record being done right now, and I'm probably going to start working on those new ideas soon.
That's awesome.
As for favorite song, you want to go out and
So far,
it?
I think that
Be first.
I listen to our album a lot because my radio in my car broke recently, so I can only play CD. But anyways, I think that one song that really grew on me is the one that is called "Evil in the Dark," which is a Stephen King, not novel. How would you say that?
Oh, I wrote that about it's a short story by Stephen King. The name is The Boogeyman.
Ooh.
The Boogeyman.
And I really like, after reading the short story a couple of times, when Max sent me and he said, I have lyrics ideas for this and I have got good riffs. I was reading the story, and when I was reading the lyrics that Max came up with, I really felt that it summarizes and grasps a lot of the ambience that the short story had. So listening to this song a lot recently is really a song that I really love. And even live, when we're either rehearsing it or playing it live, since we're starting to do it live now, it's really an awesome song to listen to and to play also. Yeah, I really like these.
And your solo on this one is probably the best one you've ever written.
I'm gonna have to
or
check
just
it out.
about.
Oh man, yeah.
I love
We
it.
love each
God.
other.
Oh, it's a love fest on KTF.
I got some
Rocks.
breaking news, though, not to jump in here, but I just got word that American icon and golf legend Arnold Palmer passed away at the age of 87.
Oh,
Just right before we came on the air, I saw
Yep.
that.
oh, that stinks. I love.
I hope they.
Palmer.
I hope they still make his. I hope they still make his iced tea, because I really like that.
I love his iced tea. It's my favorite.
Man, it's
I love golf though too. Golf is fun.
You like golf?
I do.
I didn't know that. You watch it
I
on
really
TV?
do. I play it
I think
on
it's
a
like,
video game, and if I could get out like on a real putting place, I would do it. And I did kind of golf over the weekend. I went to the Madame Tussauds wax museum, and they had one of Tiger Woods, and they let you golf with him. And I golfed, and I hit the ball in the hole.
Did it come with a mistress too?
Careful.
No.
For ladies only.
For ladies only. Yeah.
But no, that's a really cool story behind that song. I'm gonna check it out. I love Stephen King, and I love it, and I love metal. So.
Yeah, it's all good. I'll send that to you. I'll make sure you get the whole album.
Please do.
I will.
That one's a piece that that's a piece that I'm particularly proud of. How it came out. I mean, the record was almost finished, and I was listening to the demos, and I was like, we're missing something. We're missing kind of a song that's a bit more thrashy or aggressive, or something that has more of a dark kind of mood. And I just got the idea about this short story, and I was like, why don't I try writing something about this? And it ended up being an 8-minute thrasher that is that's pretty cool. I love the lyrics a lot on that one too.
Wow.
Now, do we have a copy of that?
You do have one. I think I sent one to Todd, so you probably have that somewhere in the files for the show. And as for me, which one would be my favorite? I don't know. I mean, right now, I'd probably say Doomsday Prediction.
Doomsday Prediction.
Because because of the whole groove of the song, I love a lot. I love a lot, and it's fun to play live too. So. Yeah, that right now, I don't know. If you ask me tomorrow, I'd probably answer something else. But today, that's the one.
That's the one today.
Know a fun fact about the album. When we started writing, or at least working on the album, Max and I were chatting about it, and at some point we said, let's do a real guitar-oriented album with lots of solos. So at some point we started working on the songs and writing, coming to the time in the recording process or writing process where we had to kind of split all those solos ideas, and we started having just for giggles, laughs and giggles, we said, well, we don't know which one to pick, so let's do rock, paper, scissors to see who's going to get what solo. So, a part of the evening that we just did, okay, let's take this song. So there's like 3 or 4 solos in this one. Okay, rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors.
Who's going to do that? So we ended up splitting the solos of the record by doing a rock, paper, scissors tournament.
Well, that's great.
Awesome.
It's cool to have a great relationship in a band, isn't it? I'm sure it makes it more worthwhile, and it makes the shows more worth. If you do a live show, more worthwhile. I did want to ask. I'll ask you both. You can both give me your answer. Did you both grow up in a musical household, or did this was this a when you started into music? Was this a I don't know, like I don't know. Were you in a musical family?
Well, for me and my brother, my dad used to play guitar, but he never played it that much. So I wouldn't say we grew up in a musical family, but at some point, when my brother decided that he started to play drums, that's kind of where I picked up on the guitar, because this was something, I told myself that this was something that we could really have good experience with and share a lot of time together. So the whole music relation kind of started off this when we were younger. I think my brother was something like 13 or 14 and I was 16, 17, I think. But no real musical background in the family to say like you would, like other artists would say that their parents played piano or they were singing a lot, etc.
Right. Go ahead.
It's kind of the same for me. My dad had a lot of Zeppelin and Purple records hanging around, and later on, Aerosmith and stuff like that, Bon Jovi. So I was listening to it a lot, and I was air guitaring to it a lot. But
cool.
My dad was not a musician. My mom was not a musician. I just ended up. What happened is, Iron Maiden's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son happened, and then I was like, okay, that's what I want to do. And from that moment on, I just ended up asking my mom for a guitar every single week until they ended up buying me one.
Aww.
That's nice. That's cool.
That's
man.
cool.
That is very cool. And see, not one word about Kiss.
Of course they
I think the moral of the story is never give up on your dreams, and if you really want to do something, get out there and do it. You guys are living it. So keep
Well, my dream was to be a bodybuilder, but
You can go out there and do it. You got time.
you know, no. I did buy Chuck Norris's Pro Gym or whatever that is. We'll see.
Well, you're in Buffalo though, so you're gonna have to cut off on those wings a little bit.
Oh no, there's no cut down of anything here. You have
Never.
to. Yeah, no, you got to eat like that, or they'll make fun of you. You know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You got to eat big, man. You gotta
I'm a
eat
big fan of wings, by the way. Can you tell me what's the secret of that buffalo sauce you guys have?
There's really no secret because everybody does it different.
It's not what's in it. It's who makes it and how much love they put into making it. I know that my buffalo sauce is very good, so I'm just throwing that in there.
You want to tell us what's in it?
No, I can't share that. Otherwise, I'd have to kill you. No, but it's I use brown sugar. I'll give you a clue.
That's nasty.
I use brown sugar.
The best buffalo sauce
Makes it stick to the wings better.
Is you have to start with Frank's Red Hot sauce.
Well, yeah. That too.
And then you can do anything you want with it, and it'll still taste good.
It'll still taste good. That's right.
That is true.
Yeah, and that's the key ingredient to it.
Can you guys get that up there?
They're not in
the
Siberia.
Franks, yeah, we do.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Hey, you never know.
Thank God
dude.
we do. I would drink that. I just fear the bowel movements that would ensue.
You never know.
I will say though, there's a lot of things like when we go to Canada that are different than here, and it confuses you. Like here, it's miles when you're driving, and then or there it's kilometers, correct?
Wow, true.
Yeah, and then when I go fill up my gas tank, that's really confusing because it's liters and we're gallons. I'm like, America's the only place that still uses that damn system.
You got to get with the times, man.
It's like crazy. But, I can't.
Don't come here, though, because you all be confused because everything's in French, too.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
I had some friends from LA that were here 2 weeks ago. I got friends in Los Angeles, and they came to visit, and they were pretty confused about it. That Michael, my friend there, had to drive for a while. It was like, what? Everything's in kilometers in French, and I don't know where I'm going. But yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys a question. That he's the famous talk show host in Canada, George. I can never say his last name.
Stroumboulopoulos.
Yeah, he just had somebody get murdered in his home in L.A.
I saw that. Saw that on the news this morning. I don't know if the guy was looking for him, but
right, that's some crazy stuff. And now he's actually, I've watched him before. He's a pretty good. He does good interviews. I like him.
Good. He's good, but he got, and I don't know if you guys heard of that. Maybe Guido did because he's in Buffalo, but he was the host of Hockey Night in Canada.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes,
for a while, and Canadians are very conservative when it comes to their hockey. And he didn't get the gig for a too long time. He lasted a season or two, and he was out. But he's a good talk show host, though.
Yeah, he's more of the. I don't think he was a sports guy as much as he is just the good talker. You're good at what you're good at. And
yeah.
He was better at that. He does do good in-depth interviews, and I watch him a lot because he'll do, interviews with people that I don't get to see here in the States. Like he did a really cool one on Randy Bachman, and nobody in here in the States is going to interview Randy Bachman, at all. So I got to learn a lot of stuff about a band, The Guess Who, that I really like a lot, and so I watch him a lot. And maybe someday you guys would like to be on that show,
Yeah, of course.
We'll be on that show.
If we end up making it there, we're going to be
on that show.
So is that like what I was getting to? Is that like the show? Like here is the Tonight Show. Is that the show in Canada to be on as a celebrity?
Yeah. He's one of the guys you wanna be interviewed by. To know that you've made it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because he's got a pretty big studio and all that. I just thought it was kind of amazing that a talk show host from Canada had somebody murdered in his house in L.A. when he was in his house in New York when the time that happened.
That's pretty creepy.
So how many? The guy must make a lot of money if he's got houses in New York, Canada, and L.A. That's maybe I should be a TV talk show host and give up,
especially if he's paid in Canadian money.
Give up the ball.
Yeah, right. But hey, there used to be a time when we'd go to Canada and it would be beneficial to us. It's not the American dollar's not like it used to be anymore.
It's still it is like that right now, though. I think it's 75 cents on the dollar.
Oh, it's back up again. Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
We can't just go to Canada anymore like we used to. We could just walk over there. Now you got to have a passport or a enhanced driver's license now to go over. So it's
Yeah, well, it serves you right, man. They don't want us over there just as much as it's all about security, man. But I wanted to ask you now: do you guys get the networks that we get here in the States? You got satellite television, for Christ's sake, right?
What's that?
There's no satellite TV. You don't have satellite TV.
No, we do. We're laughing.
It's kind of scary, man. It's
We're
kind of
just
scary.
joking, but yeah,
I'm just asking.
We got most of those.
Only when it's warm, right? Only when it's warm.
In the winter we don't get anything.
You don't get anything.
Just to clear everything up for you, right? They're laughing at you, not
I
with
know.
you.
I'm asking silly questions. I'm just making shit up as I go here.
The mob of the show, ladies and gentlemen.
You're up in Quebec, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're up in Quebec. Okay, I just asking.
But we do. We don't just have French television here.
Dum-dum.
yeah. What you do have like the French TV stations and that because there's still a lot of people in Quebec that don't even speak English, correct?
Yeah. Well, less than before, but there still is kind of a cleavage. Yeah, it's not as bad as it once was, but of course, because the younger generation learned it. But there was a time back maybe 25, 30 years ago when you would ask someone on the street something in English, and they would look at you like, "Ooh, where the hell do you come from?"
Right.
It's not that.
And I find that so strange, but there's only certain parts of Canada that are like that, correct?
Yeah,
I mean, like if you, like Niagara Falls and that's part of Canada, it's all English, and but it's weird how Quebec and all those cities are the French. I think we got different dialects here. We have different languages, but if you travel throughout the United States, you could definitely tell
Down
where
in
somebody's
Louisiana,
from.
it's all French.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of
True.
French.
Well, they're French influenced.
Yeah, influential play. But I was going to ask you. You think you guys are going to get a new hockey team in that town?
Nope.
No.
That was a pretty blunt answer.
we missed one on what Vegas got it instead of
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Vegas did get it. I was hoping you guys.
Vegas
would get
got a
it.
hockey team, and
Yeah,
now
lots
they're
of
We were used for leverage in that whole thing.
Yeah, I
You
think
asked
so.
me, we were used for leverage because they have 16 team in a conference and 14 in the other. So obviously they were going to add at least one team in the West, if not two. So it did not make any logical sense to add a team in the East. So we have the facility, we have the potential owner, but right now the whole complexion of how the league is going does not point towards us having a team anytime soon.
Oh, that sucks.
That's
and hockey is Canada, and there should be more Canadian teams. But there is one team that comes from Canada as being a Buffalo Sabres fan that I don't like, and that's the Ottawa Senators. Just saying, because they always beat us, But
I thought you were going to say the Leafs.
No, the Leafs too. No,
Yeah,
I like the. What's that?
What kind of Sabres fan are you if you like the Leafs? That's blasphemy. Give away your Buffalo
I know,
card
yeah.
right now.
Well, the Leafs too. I don't know, but anyways, I just didn't like Ottawa because they got my favorite player of all time after he left here. Okay, Hasek. So there you go.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, with hockey, I think the reason why is, do you think it's because, like you said before, the dollar in America is 75 cents more? Do you think players just want to play an American team, or I mean,
they still get paid. They still get paid in American dollars when they're up here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The National Hockey League, I think, is based out of the United States, so all taxes and payroll are American dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, that
But
makes sense then. Okay, so that wouldn't matter.
Sometimes I think they just want to get away from all the scrutiny that you're under because you're a hockey player in Canada and everybody watches you and everybody analyzes your performance, and you've got, instead of having like three newspaper journalists in the locker room after the game, you've got 23, so they're always under fire. So sometimes it's hard, and they just don't want to be here because of that.
Well, that makes sense, because if there's certain hockey players that walk down the street here in Buffalo, 70-80% of the people wouldn't even know who they were. You know what I mean? Because it's a hockey town, but it's not. You know what I'm saying, Chaz? Where if it was a football player, American football player, more people would know here who that is here.
Yeah,
because that's the bigger sport here.
Well,
but
you can't forget that. But we're a little Canada, so I mean, as big as hockey is here, it's still like nothing compared to football.
Depends on the city. I mean, if you're in Montreal, if you're in Montreal and there's a Canadians player somewhere in a restaurant or whatnot, I can guarantee you that there's a website, a Twitter account or whatever somewhere that's going to say, "I spotted this Habs player. He's there right now. So go ahead if you want to meet him." It's that crazy out there.
Now then again, you guys have the
that's not how it is here too.
You guys have the Canadian Football League up there.
We do.
Okay, and they play pretty much in the summer. Is that right? In spring
and
summer.
Yeah, season's almost over now if it's not already.
Yeah. I think the Silver Cup was like a couple of weeks ago.
It's the Grey Cup. Yeah,
Grey
that's
Cup.
what it's called.
Cup.
It's not.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Cup,
well, it's made
Cup.
out of silver.
The Grey
I guess.
Cup. It's the Grey Cup. Yeah, it's silver anyway. The Grey Cup. Yeah, it's named after a guy named Gray, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
and
that's silver.
Not silver. His name is Gray. Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, I'm going to take this question over. Since you're talking about CFL, did you know that there's an NFL player in football that just got nominated for the Hall of Fame today that was also a standout in the CFL? That's Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie. Oh, yeah, he played for Calgary in the CFL.
Yeah, he just got nominated to be inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame today. He also played for the Buffalo Bills, so that's cool.
Yeah, but he sucked in the NFL, though.
Yeah, well, yeah. Still. I had his cereal. He had cereal called Fruity Flakes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they named the cereal after him. You name a cereal after a football player. That's always exciting.
I wish we have our own cereal one day. The warning sign cereals.
Warning sign cereal?
Did you buy that for your kids?
I don't think people would buy that.
No.
We should think about that.
Byproducts.
Byproducts. That would be good marketing.
It'd be good for
CD and everybody. When I was a kid, they had this. You could buy, and I remember it like it was yesterday, man. You could buy this cereal, and on the back would be a 45 disc, and it had paper, but it had vinyl over it, and you could put it on, and you could play it, and it was Sugar Bear. Yeah,
it sounded like ass.
It sounded pretty good, man. For back then, what we were playing it on.
Well, that was back then. He had the needle on and lined up the record player. That's how old he is.
I think we're going to call up Kellogg and have something like that happen.
Yeah. And say, hey, look, we want to put our EP on the back of your.
You guys like Stephen King? I got something for you.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
kids are going to like it.
The kids are going to love it.
If you had to pick a novelist to, write metal music to, that's the perfect novelist to do it to. I mean, he's.
In that song. So
I want someone to do a new Frankenstein.
Like Edgar Winter?
Like the Edgar Winter, but a new one to make it completely different. Just call it Frankenstein, and it's an instrumental. And just
I wish they'd bring back Frankenberry.
There's a Canadian rock band that actually has a song named Frankenstein. I don't know if you guys know of the heavy metal band Sword that came from Quebec. They were from Montreal. They released 2 records in the 80s.
I've definitely heard.
And the guys from Sword teamed up. Well, they out the guitar player, and they had a new one after that. And they teamed up with Aldo Nova. And they recorded an album which was for a band. They renamed the band. They were called Saints and Sinners. Mm-hmm. And they recorded kind of a hair metal type of record. And there's a song on there named Frankenstein. It is pretty good.
Oh, cool. I'm very partial to this Frankenberry. Did you ever have that? It's a cereal, Frankenberry.
Oh, isn't it like in the vein of Count Chocula or something?
Yeah, it's just like it's
Frankenberry and Frank. I love the Count Chocula, man. It was awesome. I mean, after a good, you go out at night, man. You get all stoned and smoke up some hoot, and just come back home and sit down on the couch and have yourself a bowl of Count Chocula, man. It was nothing like it, and then go to bed and crash. Nothing like it. Nothing like it, man.
I ought to try that.
Man. Comfort food.
I thought Guido was talking about the guys he met last night, Frank and Barry. That's what I thought he was talking about.
well, I was, you know,
talking
and then
about
Frankenberry, and
Frankenberry?
we played the game Neil and Bob, you know.
Oh, Neil and Bob. Well, listen, let's break this up a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and play a tune. Is that okay with you guys?
Sure, I'm gonna go have another beer. I'm all out.
Okay,
so.
and I need to take,
yeah.
and I'm going to go take a leak. So we'll be right back. I'm going to play "Children of the Sea." How about that?
All right, go ahead
All
and do
right.
that.
All right, this is KGFRocks.com and "Children of the Sea." This is a cover, Black Sabbath cover, and this is Warning Sign. KGFRocks.com.
In the misty morning, on the edge of time, we've lost the rising sun, a final sign. As the misty morning rolls away to die, reaching for the stars, we blind the sky. We sail across the air before we learn to fly. We thought that it could never In the misty morning, on the edge of time, we've lost the rising sun, a final sign. As the misty morning rolls away to die, reaching for the stars, we blind the sky. Oh, they say that it's over, and it just had to be. Oh, yes, they say that it's over. We're lost children of the sea. Look out! The sky is falling down. Look out! Look out! The world is spinning round and round and round. Look out! The sun is going blind.
Children of the Sea.
Look out!
Look out.
That's a great song, and you know what? I am so glad that you guys did cover Dio years.
Dio,
Black
I'm a very big Ronnie James Dio fan, and once again, I think my voice kind of gives that away. But I'm a big fan of his, and we did that because I was pretty bummed when he died, and I asked the guys. I always wanted to do kind of a tribute to Ronnie, and I asked the guys if they wanted to do it with me, and they came aboard, and we did that together, and I think it came out pretty well. And that particular album, Heaven and Hell, is, to me, it's probably the best Black Sabbath records, bar none. I know that
It's a great album.
a lot of people are gonna hate me for it because a lot of people really swear by the Ozzy years and all of that. But to me, Heaven and Hell is the best. Is the best Black Sabbath
No.
record.
I'll throw it up there with you too. My favorite two Black Sabbath albums is, first of all, Dio is one of the greatest metal singers ever live, if not the greatest. So I agree with you there. But Heaven and Hell, and then with the Ozzy years, I go with Masters of Reality. Those are my two favorite ones. They're complete,
I'm
top to bottom.
pretty sure we'd get along pretty well because I love that one too.
All right, now here's one for
Well-
you. Everybody can name their favorite Black Sabbath albums, but what's your least favorite one? Mine would be Born Again, even though it's got my favorite singer Ian Gillan on there. It sucked.
Yeah, Born Again is it's pretty bad.
And it's got, you think it would work because you got Deep Purple's singer, and it didn't work at all. I mean, it didn't work. Nothing on that album worked. Nothing. I mean,
Well,
it was just like the decline of Black Sabbath after that, I think.
Sometimes it's just not meant to work. I mean, it's not because you will replace you'll replace your singer by a big name, someone that's known or whatnot. I mean, sometimes it just, the magic just doesn't work, and
Right.
it happens. Sometimes it just doesn't, the current doesn't flow, and I
that's
think
true.
it didn't at that point.
No, it didn't at all. And Ian Gillan was like, "All right, I'm going back to Deep Purple."
And then they put out their best album ever.
Their best album, right? He went from Born Again, his worst album he's ever done, probably, to Perfect Strangers, which was almost the perfect album.
I'll tell you a really underrated Black Sabbath album is their early 90s release with Dio, Dehumanizer.
Oh,
That is so heavy.
yep.
It kind of went under the radar.
It's just awesome. It's really heavy. It almost sounded like Tony Iommi was trying to replicate Dio's sound. It had a lot, and he still had his groove and everything, but it almost sounded like he wanted to bridge that gap into more of a, I guess, newer metal at the time sound.
Yeah, that was kind of the metal was in a transition period at that point in the early '90s. You had Pantera coming in, that was just bulldozing everything, and you had grunge that was also coming in. You had new metal that was in its early years too. So I think that it influenced a lot of our favorite bands' sounds at that particular point. Even Look at Iron Maiden when they got Fear of the Dark out. Be Quick or Be Dead was the first single they got out of that, and Bruce was singing all raspy on it, and he's trying to get over aggressive because that was what was in vogue back then.
And that could be the truth too. And, but that should have been like bigger than it was because it was a reunion album, and maybe the world wasn't ready for the Black Sabbath reunion because when Heaven and Hell the band came out, I think they got more looked at than they did on that 92 release. When they came back with Dio before he passed away, I think that album was more critically and fan-liked than Dehumanizer.
But it was better all around anyways. That record was good. The Devil You Know
it was too.
Very, very good record.
Very good record. And I was sad because I never got to see Dio in concert. I always wanted to. That's one of the guys I never saw.
Never saw him?
No, I never did. I mean, I seen Ozzy.
Shame on you.
I know.
Yeah,
but when
I agree. And to be honest, Ronnie James Dio is like my top 3 rock metal singers of all time, in my top 3. And I've seen the other couple, but I never got to see him in my lifetime. I'm 30. He only came around here one time, and that was with Heaven and Hell, and I didn't get to go, and that was it.
I saw him once with Heaven and Hell. They were opening for Megadeth here. And I saw him with, that was a long time ago, in 99. I saw him, he opened for Iron Maiden here in Quebec City, back when Blaze Bayley was the singer for Iron Maiden. Oh. And that was the 2 times I saw Dio, and I wish I could have seen him more, but.
Right. Now, do you guys get it in Quebec? I mean, I'm not real familiar with the Quebec scene. Do you have like bands like Guns N' Roses and bigger, newer bands coming through? Do you have a good mix of bands that come there, big name bands?
You mean on tour?
On tour, yes.
Yeah.
You do know it's like the capital of Canada, Tom, right?
Yeah, I know. But
in terms of rock music and metal, we're recognized as the universal capital of North America.
Oh, okay, all right.
They have huge festivals.
I don't think he should. Go ahead. Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like we're not sure the size of the city. It's like so.
Yeah, we all live in igloos.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, the Great White North, man.
I'm familiar with Canada, but it's with Toronto and Niagara Falls, the places where I've been to. I'm familiar with that. So I've never been to Quebec, so I don't know a lot about it. But I'm trying to learn. So
There you go.
I'm pretty sure they had an Olympics there.
I think Warning Sign needs to do a concert down there in Buffalo. I really do.
Bring them on. We'll set it up, and Chaz is some band he thinks could open up.
Yeah, right there in the parking lot. Put up a stage and just rock out. I think that would be awesome.
We've had worse bands, let me tell you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure we have. Yeah. Listen, I wanted to ask you real quick, as far as you guys are thinking about going back in the studio again, but this new one just released, how long are you thinking it's going to be before something comes together for you?
We still need to start writing the songs.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Well, we gotta push this album first and work on the next one.
Yeah, buy this one, guys. Come on.
Buy this one.
Follow them on Facebook. Do you guys have a Twitter too? Yeah.
We do have a Twitter. It's
follow them on
Twitter. 666.
There you go. Follow them on Twitter, guys.
On Twitter
and
also on Facebook.
Yeah, well, we have a song on the first album called it's called Mark of the Beast.
Yeah.
And that's where the whole 666 thing comes from.
Hey, man. That's what you got to do. It's metal. You're in a metal band. Ain't nobody judging you around here. You're not Striper.
No.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Not here anyway. No, we're not going to judge you at all.
Todd, to answer your question a bit more seriously, we're going to have to go ahead and start writing the songs. But right now, I have about as much material, as many ideas accumulated that I had when we started writing Left to the Sharks. So I'm at a point where I'll probably be able soon to start putting the pieces together and making songs out of riffs or just ideas that I have recorded here out of nowhere, and then we'll go on from there. But it took 3 years between Wake the Dead and Left to the Sharks, and I would like to at least cut that by 2/3, or by 1/3. I'm sorry, and do maybe have another album out within 2 years. I would really like to do that. I think it's something that's feasible, but we'll have to plan it very, very rigorously and try to respect the schedule a lot better than we did this time around, because we were not really on time, and at least stuff got in the way too. I mean, I got a baby, and we got a whole bunch of stuff. We bought a house, and
Life
we always
happens,
had something
man.
going
Oh,
on.
congrats.
But
Congrats.
thanks a lot.
Yeah, you had a good couple of years then, right?
Yeah, so it was great, but the band suffered because of this. So that, and now that this is all behind us, I think that 2 years before we release the other record is something that's reasonable.
Okay, cool. And now I got to ask this question.
That's usually what the industry standard is.
Yeah, that's usually about right. That's about 2 years.
Good.
But we want to
okay.
make sure that we remain seen on the scene, no pun intended, during that particular period of time, because I mean, that's the danger of new technology. We were praising the internet a little bit earlier on, and we were praising how fast things are going and how cool this all is, but it also has the capacity to leave you in the dust. So it's important for us to try, and that cover song we alluded to a little bit earlier on. This is all things that we need to plan ahead of time so that we can release them on time, so that people can go like, oh, these guys are still here. I remember them. They're still alive, and they're doing stuff. Because if you just go silent for a year and a half, you got to start from scratch again, because everybody's going to always publish new songs and new material, and everybody's going to publish new news and interviews and stuff like that. So if you don't stay on top of things and always try to give a little something to, I don't want to say your fans, because I don't believe we have fans right now. We have people that know us, but anyways, it's you got these people that follow you. You got to give them something to chew on, or else they're just going to forget about you.
Right. Everything happens so fast nowadays. If there's a band out there that, say you guys ended up getting, things kind of took off for you, and you were going to do a tour. Who out there would you like to have open up for you?
Personally, for myself, opening up for us.
For us? Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's we kind of see ourselves as opening for them more than
right.
Them
I mean,
us.
okay. All right, that's a fair question. Okay, that's a fair question.
Let's turn this around. Who would we see us open for?
Yeah, who would you like to open for on tour?
For myself, I think doing a tour with Primal Fear would be pretty great. I had the opportunity to open for them in Quebec and in Montreal in the past years, I think 2 or 3 times. And we opened it for them again. It was by the end of May.
May this year, yeah.
And they're a really cool guy. No much stress. Show's always running good, and they're always rocking out pretty hard. So it's really fun to be able to listen. And Primal Fear is, in Europe, I think is one of the biggest names in heavy metal right now. So, and still is. So it'll be a good band for me to be part of.
Yeah,
I think you guys would be an awesome opening act for like Slayer.
Yeah, well, that would be great too. Or Anthrax. I would love Anthrax.
Yeah, Anthrax.
That would be...
Anthrax is what those bands that get better at songwriting as they get older. Their last album is better, I think, better than anything they ever put out.
It is. I really enjoyed Worship Music as well. It was a great album. But the last one is For All Kings. That's a very good one too.
It's probably 2 of the best albums they've put out in their whole career. I mean, it's shocking that it's shocking that they're relevant nowadays with Joey Belladonna and with that high singing sound, and that's not really what's popular, but they're doing it and they're making it happen, and it's fantastic.
But it's the same thing for us. I mean, we have a few commentaries here and there online from people saying, well, the music's pretty good, but the voice is a little bit too high pitched and it sucks. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that's how I sing, and those are my songs. So either listen to them or don't.
But again, we don't friend ourselves as a classic trash metal band.
I gotta ask. Did you reply "fuck you"? I mean,
no, I didn't. Because
you didn't. I would have. I mean,
I'm Canadian. We're polite here. We're always sorry.
I said, "Fuck you."
I said that.
I could have said I'm sorry, but fuck you.
I'm sorry that you're a dumb fuck, but
Hey, listen.
you can word it different. Usually ignorant people like that don't understand that you made fun of them anyways.
Right.
And I never pass judgment on any person, any band that has any kind of talent that goes out there and does it. Even if it's not my cup of tea, I'm not going to bash them.
No, as long as they're making the effort, man. And we love music all the way around anyways, right, Rio? I mean,
absolutely.
Music is music. I mean, if you look through our list of interviews, I mean, we've had some interviews all the way from Southern rock all the way to metal, and now we're talking to metal, another metal band tonight, and we enjoy listening to all aspects of music. It's not just metal, and I think that's what makes us different than some of the other interviewers out there. We try to bring it all home for everybody. But listen, why don't we? I don't know. Doomsday Prediction is a good song, and I really dug it too. And since you mentioned it earlier, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play that before we say goodbye. Is that okay with you guys? You guys got a few minutes? Yeah? Okay, why don't we do that? I'll play Doomsday Prediction, and then we'll come back and we'll say adios to you guys, okay?
All right.
Hang in there. We'll be right back. This is KGFRocks.com, and this is Doomsday Prediction right here on The Conjugal Visit.
Writing long stuff. That's why Oliver told me, that next record, we got to go ahead and write short songs. We got to go straight to the point.
Well, it's metal,
It's metal. Yeah, you know what? The Doomsday Prediction is 6 minutes long, and
I think the greatest metal songs are over 5 minutes.
Yeah, they get your head
Because all
pounding,
metal
man.
songs are.
Yeah, well, I've heard some pretty shitty metal songs.
But you haven't heard any shitty short metal songs.
No, that's true. I haven't.
You're just not listening to grindcore. That's why.
That's terrible.
We're live with these two great guys from Warning Sign tonight, and this is KGFRocks.com and the Conjugal Visit. We're so happy that you're with us, and if you're listening to this after the live show, thank you, because that's where most of you come in. So we don't get a big chance to thank you guys that come in and re-listen to the show after the live show. So thank you very much. Very much. And speaking of which, you can get us on. We'll talk about that in a minute. Listen, guys, Oliver and Max, thank you so much for coming on with us tonight.
It was a pleasure. Thanks to you for having us.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here.
When the new album is done, we hope to hear from you then. Okay,
we will.
If you have any EPs for the new one coming up, let me know, and we'll make sure to give it a listen and put it in our rotation for you.
Will do.
Okay, and again, thank you guys so much. Guys, anybody else want to say goodbye?
Later, bros.
Have a
I was going
great
to say
night.
French, but I forgot.
Au revoir.
Hey,
Think of that
pleasure
Megadeth
meeting you
song.
guys.
Au revoir.
Yeah, think of that Megadeth song. Je vous aime, je dois partir.
I just
all I
think
gotta say to the guys is enjoy your igloos up there, and hopefully you guys get some TV up there at some point, and say hello to all your huskies for me, please.
And we're going to remove all the frost from the antenna, and then we'll be all right.
Yeah, well, if you guys keep playing metal hard enough, man, the ice will just break right off that antenna.
Yeah, we're going to melt it.
Yeah, there it is. All right,
With
guys.
shredding solos.
Thanks, guys. You guys have a good night, man. It's been
Thanks
a pleasure.
for having us. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
All right, take care, fellas. Bye-bye. Wow, what a great show.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
it kind of, it was a great show. They were great guys, but I kept thinking of I was interviewing the Rougeau brothers.
Oh yeah.
You know, like
Does he even know? Does Free even know who they are?
no, I don't think he does. The Fabulous
Who?
Rougeaus, you know who they are,
The
Free?
Fabulous Rougeaus. What are they like? I don't know, acrobats or something, or wrestlers? They're
The
wrestlers.
wrestlers.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard of them.
But that's
Shut up,
but they
Jazz.
talk like that. Yeah. And
Talking shit.
I love how you said his name though. That was perfect when you said blah, 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 blah. And
Yeah, I know. I try.
We love you, Free.
I know
But-
you do.
it was a great interview. It was a great band. They were definitely they know their music and they play it well. And
Yeah.
I'm glad we had
I
them on.
love metal, so yay for a metal show.
Yeah,
That's
we
right,
could
for metal
take
show.
over the metal show, right? Eddie Trunk's done. Let's take it over.
We might as well. Nobody else is
Yeah.
doing it.
Eddie
We'll
Trunk
call
still
it That
has
Metal Podcast.
Yeah, that metal podcast.
It's
Well, I
right-
had a blast. It's always a pleasure working with you guys, and you guys freaking rock. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.
Okay, well, you take
Always.
care of yourself. You leaving us? Are you
Yeah.
You're leaving us? All right.
I'm gonna go play some video games and get stoned.
There you go. That's a girl. MJ420, everybody. Thanks, MJ. Have a good night, sweetie.
You too. Love you guys. Bye, listeners. Mwah.
See you later.
See ya.
Oh, she was gone quick. Look at that. Boop. See ya.
Gee, get me the fuck out of here. Yeah, real quick.
That's the
Well,
longest I ever heard her on the show, except last week.
Last week she stayed on the whole show. A week before last, anyways. The last show she stayed on the most of the time. That was pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
glad to have her. I'm glad.
Well,
to
we
have
started off like the show with correspondence people that come in for 5 minutes and then ended up.
her. Yeah, and then they leave. See you later. Bye.
Now they stay around.
Now they stick
Well, I
around.
wanted
So we must be
say
doing
something.
something right.
Yeah, me and Free Ride have done the Conjugal Visit show now for 3+ years, with tons of different people. We started off with just me and him. Then we had Jimmy Earls. Then we had remember Jimmy Earls was part of this program. Then we had Kahuna and other people. But then we moved it. That was the past, and we were on Blog Talk and whatever. Since we moved to Spreaker, this is our 40th show. So this is the 40th broadcast of the new Conjugal Visits.
The 40th.
The 40th broadcast tonight. Yeah, so since we came to this format, our very first interview was with Mr. Rusty Burns. Remember that?
Yeah, the late great Rusty Burns.
From Point Blank. We probably were most likely his last interview before he died.
Yeah, it was. In fact, it was. And on the anniversary of his passing, I reposted it on his page, and it was the 1 year anniversary of his passing. Well, actually, no, it was the 1 year anniversary of his show,
Right.
and we replayed it for his folks, and we ended up picking up another 35 listens to his show. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know. He was a band, Chaz, that was it was an up and coming southern rock band in the late '70s, and they had a mainstream hit song with a song called Nicole. It was top 40. Well, they were scheduled to open up for Leonard Skinner on their 77 tour, and they were so excited because now all these southern rock fans that like Leonard Skinner are going to get to see their band. And then the plane crash happened, and they had nowhere to go after that because the tour was already booked. It wasn't like they could jump on Molly Hatchet's tour or whatever, you know. So they missed their chance because of that plane crash. Of maybe becoming more, you know. So it was a very good interview, and that was our very first interview on this format of Spreaker. And that the reason I bring it up to the fans out there is go listen to them. You know, some of these shows are really great. Some of them I want to delete, but most of them are pretty bad.
Yeah. There are a couple bad ones.
Yeah, but those are the ones you want to delete are the ones that, you know, we don't have a guest and we got to listen to Free Ride and Guido talk all day. So.
Well, no, the ones that there's been a
pretty
couple,
much.
and there's also a comedian that we had on the show that was horrid. So it was a friggin' nightmare.
He was so bad that I made fun of him and he got insulted. you're a stand-up comedian and you got insulted by me making fun of you. That's
I've heard that comedians don't give good interviews.
I don't know.
I don't know. Bob and Tom invite comedians all the time, and they're fucking hilarious.
Well, I guess it all depends on who the comedian is, because I know like Adam Sandler does. He doesn't do great interviews. He doesn't like to do interviews, and he's not funny when he's on the interviews.
Right.
Where
right.
somebody like Will Ferrell cannot not be funny, I think.
I think they have a hard time being funny when they're not on a live stage. I think that's their problem.
Unless you're Will Ferrell, then you can be funny anywhere, because
right.
the man can never. I don't think I've ever seen Will Ferrell serious in an interview ever for 100% of the show. Or have you, Chaz?
No, he's always in some kind of stupid outfit or crazy. Although one of my favorite memories of Will Ferrell is, I would say about 5 years ago, right after Conan O'Brien moved to TBS, he grew a beard because, the Tonight Show wouldn't let him have a beard. And on the one episode, Will Ferrell comes out, he starts the interview, and Will Ferrell just screams at Conan O'Brien. They bring out a barber's chair, and he shaves his beard with a straight razor. And that was the whole interview.
Well, I think my favorite one of his is when I think it was the Tonight Show when Hostess went out of business and he dressed like Little Debbie, the snack cake lady girl, and he was going to take over the cupcake market now because the Hostess was out, and you never get a real interview with him. You know what I mean? You get him. The same thing with how Robin Williams was. Robin Williams couldn't sit still on the Tonight Show.
not for 2 minutes. Not for 2 minutes. He could not sit still, that's for sure.
I'm sure some of that was cocaine, but, it's still...
Right.
Some of it.
Yeah.
Just some.
Well, a little bit, I'm sure he was probably doing it between takes and breaks and whatever. But he's from the 70s, and in the 70s, comedians were big drug abusers and drug advocates.
They still are.
They still are, but I mean, I think in the 70s and 80s, it was bigger and more well known than it is now, because you had like Cheech and Chong, and you had, Richard Pryor. He burned himself freebasing cocaine,
Right.
You don't hear about that too much anymore.
No, and then he later died because of what he did to his body with all that shit. So,
you know who else died not too long ago? I don't think we talked about it. Gene Wilder passed away.
Gene Wilder, we didn't talk about it on this show. He was a great actor. There was a lot about him on Facebook, and he was brilliant. And he died tragically, man. He had Alzheimer's, and he just kept on sliding. And it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame.
Him and Richard Pryor, in the couple movies they did, were hilarious. Stir Crazy, when they went to jail, and King Kong Bundy was actually in the movie too. That was such a hilarious movie. And then what's the other one? They were on the train, Silver Streak or whatever.
Silver Streak, yeah.
Well, seriously, off the top of your head, what is Gene Wilder's best role? Go.
Gene Wilder, Dr. Frankenstein. Young
Frankenstein.
No question about it.
No, man. He will go down in infamy, and its best
Willy
role
Wonka.
ever is Willy Wonka.
For the masses, but for...
he's right. It's Willy Wonka, because even though I love Johnny Depp, is probably one of my favorite actors ever, I watched him with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and I'm like, Gene Wilder did this so much better. And I mean, he played Willy Wonka. He was creepy, actually. I mean,
he was a little bit creepy.
He was creepy in that role. I mean, he wasn't playing this. That's the thing about Gene Wilder that was great, that he was a funny guy, but he could be creepy looking, demented looking. He could be crazy. I mean, he was a good actor too. Well, he wasn't just a comedian.
I think
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles was hilarious, but I don't think it was his best role. I still think that Silver Streak was one of his better roles, with Richard Pryor. I mean, that was some funny shit there.
And his wife was funny too.
Oh yeah, she was hilarious. She was on Saturday Night Live, Gilda Radner, and she was just a wonderful person in person, because I know a friend of mine who had met her personally in New York, and really a nice lady, and she died tragically as well, and she had cancer. I believe that's what killed her.
She did, and she died many years ago. She
Oh
died
yeah,
in
a long
the
time.
80s, I think.
In the early '80s. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of people now with Arnold Palmer passing that, it's like almost like for me too. These people that I grew up with in whatever, the David Bowies, Glenn Fry's, whatever. Everybody's leaving us. 2016 has been a big year for celebrity deaths.
Oh yeah. What we ought to do is compile a list of the celebrity deaths for 2016 and do a year-end show in December.
Yeah. I mean,
That
and
might be a
there'll
good
be
idea.
more. There'll be
Yeah,
more.
there'll be more,
Probably.
but it'll be at the end.
Right. But I mean, I think the most tragic for me in 2016 was Prince. The most,
Right.
because it's an artist that I literally grew up listening to. I mean, from almost, child, 8, 9 years old, started listening to Prince and listening to him forever and never stopped listening to him. And to die at his age, that was
Right.
pretty tragic. An
Yeah.
circumstantial death. It wasn't just a cut and dry death, in my opinion.
Well, Prince was one thing, but you also had a couple of other deaths that were right up there. Robin Williams, for one.
That was like 2
That
years
was
ago.
2014, buddy.
Was that like 2 years ago? No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, it was.
Was it? Was?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No way. That fast?
That
Yeah.
That was probably 2 years ago, right around this time, because I remember when I got the news, I was at my one job that I only worked at for like 2 months.
Was it
And that was
that
around
long
this time
ago?
2
I
years
thought that
ago.
was this year.
No.
Robin
No way,
Williams.
buddy.
2 years. It's been 2 years.
Two whole years. Yep. People that this year were Glenn Fry, Dave Bowie.
Oh, Glenn
Prince.
Fry. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's another tragedy. That too.
Yeah, but see, as much as I like Glenn Fry, and I really do like Glenn Fry, but I think Bowie and Prince going did a bigger hit to music than Glenn Fry leaving. They didn't write
And real
music.
quick, just to clear everything up, Robin Williams died August 11th, 2014.
It was 2014. Man, you never know. I might be just. Maybe I'm demented. I don't know. Dementia runs in my fucking family. But anyways, we're about running out of time here. Rest in peace, Rob.
We are, or you are.
Huh? We are.
Yeah, it was a well very, very good show tonight. I liked it. I'm glad we got to come back on tonight. We almost had some technical difficulties, and for the people that missed us for the past 4 to 6 days, we apologize for that on the KGF.com, KGFrocks.com. We had a lot of server issues, a lot of crap, but now we are guaranteed to never go down again, because we also have a backup server that will pick up when that one goes down. So
Excellent.
Thank God we got it all figured out.
Yeah, and if you want to catch more Conjugal Visit shows, you can go to our page on YouTube. Just sign in and go to KGFrocks.com, and our page is right there. It'll pop up with all of our Conjugal Visit shows, along with my interview with the lead singer from Red, and just all kinds of different stuff, and music and everything else that you might want to look for is right there. Also, listen to our station. Come on. Free. Doesn't cost anything. And it's virus free. Okay? You got anything, Chaz?
No, I'm happy. I'm happy everybody, everything got up and running, and I'm going to do an album review next week, or if I'm on, maybe the week after. I'll let you guys know, but I'll let you know.
All right, no problem. And that sounds like fun to me. And, of course, we'll update you on scores and all kinds of other stuff. Okay, we'll be back next week. Don't know who our guest will be next week, but we will be on next week, hook or by crook. Okay? Thanks for listening, folks. This is KGFRocks.com and all the guys here at Conjugal Visits. Good night.
It's Sunday night, and this is the Conjugal Visit on KGFRocks.com.